what was Kyankwanzi originally? Under UPC, Kyankwanzi was the first of 4 regional youth centers for training, giving skills, and was part of the national service. So as it's been turned to National Leadership Institute, where Mchaka was, and basically under Mchaka was NRM good and parties bad. So I believe as a resource, and what we could have invested in the skilling, okay, now we've been setting up other skilling centers and like, it would have been better used for its original purpose. That is, from my own perspective. Further to that, the issues around, so you're hearing somebody complaining about bedrooms, allocating rooms. Then my brother Mao defending himself that he's a guest, and the father of the house is free to allocate. And all of this is in my youth center. I believe you have misused that youth center for all these 40 years. You could have had a great output, because what is happening with the youth, you find many of the youth who are actually putting an effort, they run into hurdles. There are a lot of difficulties on trying to make ends meet. But we are going there. Some of the issues which people, MPs are being taught is important. I don't want to dismiss that one. Issues of etiquette, but it needs to be done across the board. All MPs who are going to come in need to be prepared. So I agree, I had quoted Honorable Sarah on that issue. People need to be prepared, because somebody comes and you get overwhelmed with what environment you're in. There's a situation where we were in the US, I think it was 2 or 3 committees benchmarking on oil, the oil and gas. And we were guests of the US government. The way the US government does their things is very different from Uganda government. The allowances are very limited. If they give you lunch, they'll give you a small allowance for supper. It's not a small issue. And the Ugandan MPs were going there expecting it was like the normal Uganda parliamentary issue, where you don't have, the sort of resources. So our hosts are providing us one meal, and we provide ourselves like the supper. At this meal, one of the MPs had taken up one of these tablecloths and was packing the buns. You know, the buns which come and that sort of thing. And Honorable Alice Alaso had to master her Uganda to try and tell this person, stop embarrassing us. Stop embarrassing us, because you are there as Uganda.
Yeah.
They're not going to know NRM, UPC, what. You are there as Uganda. And things of etiquette, things of behavior, how to handle things, those courses used to be done. You come to a dinner where you have 7 forks and 7 knives. How do you approach it? You have to know how to tackle those things. So it's not something which you just whatever. So it's important to train. Now you can be representing Uganda, huge banquet, everybody's there. You're the chief, representing a country. Now you don't know where to start. So it's important we do some of those things. And the issue of the resource, I think it's a double-edged coin.
Sorry, on a lighter note. At a dinner somewhere in Germany, Honorable Katota Twib were having a sumptuous dinner. Then these whites with the issues of homosexuality and gays. And then they said, what about the issues of human rights in Uganda? Katota is a committed Muslim. He pushed the food first in front and said, what? I can never refuse to eat your food. You are talking about... I was stepping in from under the table and said, no, you first eat. We are going to respond to this issue. No. The Quran is very clear on homosexuality.
No, but that may be a better one. But there was this very embarrassing one,
where the leaders were seated around the table, and this member of parliament started eating like he was being told, eat very fast, as if the food was getting finished. So he got a big piece of meat and then started choking on the meat. They had to hit his back and the meat flew over the table.
Okay.
But what I wanted to understand is that some of these things you wish, because if it is fine, induction around the economy, NRM manifesto, and how perhaps the next 5 years should run, these are things, if you're sitting at the back as a UPC leader, say, no, these are things we need as a political party. Let's have a conversation as parliament, not necessarily as NRM. National Leadership Institute is looked at, the NALI, the N in the NALI is looked at as NRM as opposed to national.
And that's what I was telling you. We set it up as UPC, as a youth center for skilling. That's what I'm saying. You are using my youth center to now allocate bedrooms. Who's supposed to be sitting here and whatever. But the main thing, what is behind the scene, is how they want to divide the country. The old man has been saying over the years he killed his animal. There's now this new group who are saying it's now our chance to divide this animal. So that is a lot of what is going on around the Kyankwanzi issue. I, of course, am not comfortable with that whole issue, because the animal they talk about is my country. There are issues which should be affecting my country which are being addressed in a manner which is disgusting. I agree with the Mao on this issue of a high office and you're talking about such matters. I would expect somebody aspiring for the office of Speaker of the Republic of Uganda, I think, to have a little more etiquette, a little more class, a little more panache, as they say. Prepare for the office which you want. But we've now reduced the office of the Speaker of Parliament to be an office for facilitating a political party. We're actually reducing it. This office is higher than a political party. So for me, I'm worried that we are not understanding what we're supposed to be doing in this Uganda. And my issue with NRM, and I'll also put deep in this same equation, because I was listening to the president on some of the matters which he raised, talk about the mission, uniting Uganda and the like, so they're now on the fourth issue of uniting. And of course, UPC looked at as a spoiler. The 79, when he came, Milton Obote could not come back until 1980. Some of the issues which they did in this, what they did in this campaign, I don't know whether